What's up, ladies? Welcome back to the channel. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Sarah, accidental handmade business owner. So just in case you're not familiar with my story, earlier this summer my daughter and I started making some soap at home just as like a fun hobby, and it has kind of snowballed and turned into what is now known as latherbathco.com. I'll have it linked down in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. But anyway, here on my channel we are growing our handmade businesses together. Okay, I'm not an expert. I haven't been able to quit my day job for this yet, so I thought it'd be a good time to start because we're both kind of, you know, perhaps you're going through or in the same step in your journey as I am.
We're hanging out.
We're hanging out. Right. In today's video, I am going to share with you the reasoning behind why I make soap without lye for my handmade business, but also give you a demo. Now, if you already know things about lye and you're not interested in my reasoning behind it and all of that kind of stuff, you're just here for the demo, I will put like the chapter down below in the description box so you can just kind of skip right ahead to that, okay? So the first thing we're gonna go over is what exactly is lye. Now, I know you, especially if you're new to soap making, you've heard of lye before, but you're not, you know, you may not exactly be familiar with what it is. So what lye is a chemical compound, and it forms when baking soda and like the chemical or the element lime, like not like the food lime, but the other kind of lime, when they combine. So once mixed together, they do create what is known as lye. Lye can actually be super damaging. If you get it on your skin, then you can get chemical burns, and also if you inhale it, you can actually get chemical burns inside of your nose and down in your throat and stuff. So we always do want to make sure that we are wearing protective gear, gloves, long sleeves, mask, etc., and working in a well-ventilated area when working with lye. For more information, I did put the blog that I found a lot of this information on in the description box below. It's from, I think, Nella Naturals. Perhaps you are thinking the same thing I am, like why, if it's so damaging, would lye be put into soap? And the reason for that is because when you mix lye with oil, it actually creates soap. It's like what is known as soap, right? So if you have done any research on cold processed soaps before, you know that you have to, once you make your soap with lye, etc., your oils, all of those things, you do have to let it sit for about 4 weeks before you, before it's ready to sell. And that is actually so that the lye can kind of like escape or evaporate from the soap itself, meaning it will no longer be there. And evaporate's not exactly the correct term, but it was the closest or best example that I could come up with. It just kind of like dissipates and disappears or is no longer there. So I actually have 3 reasons why I make my soaps without lye, and why I don't use the cold process method. And those really truly are because it is faster if you don't make cold process soap. And by that I mean the actual process to make it itself is faster, but then also the curing time is way faster. It would be, you know, if you're using if you're making the type of soap I am, it's actually way faster than cold processed soap. In addition to that, it's way less stress. I'm not sure about you guys, but I get very anxious very easily. So having all of those steps and needing to make sure that I don't forget a step, for where I am in my journey right now, it's just not it for me. And the final reason that I use this method of soap making without lye is because it is safer. And you know, of course, that's obviously subject to your definition of safer. But for me personally, as we've talked about, as you've seen this already in this video, my daughter is a big part of my handmade business and we like to do this together. So, you know, working with lye is not an option for me and my journey where I am right now. That's not to say I won't do that in the future, but at least for now, I don't have any plans to make soap with lye. So if I don't make soap with lye, what exactly do I use? I use soap bases that are known as melt and pour soap bases, and it's pretty much exactly how it sounds. You buy a brick of this soap base, you melt it, do whatever you're gonna do, add whatever you're gonna add, pour it into your molds, and you make your soap that way. So far, I have tested and worked with 3 different types. They do each have pros and cons. The first one that I have worked with is goat's milk. It's very nice, it's creamy, it feels good, but I would say out of the 3 I've tried, it is a little bit harder to work with in that I feel it cools and hardens rather quickly once it is melted, which gives you a very short work period or available working time to kind of make changes or pour into your molds, etc. And also because it's made with goat's milk, it is not a vegan formula. So if you are a person that is offering vegan products, then this soap base would not at all work for you. The second type of soap base that I worked with was olive oil soap base, and that was really cool. It's a little bit different in that the base of it is clear, so it gives you a clear soap even if you do color it, versus, you know, a white base such as goat's milk or the next one, which is the one that I currently use. It's nice, but again, it just doesn't give you that creamy look. It feels the same, but it just doesn't give you that creamy look. I will say though, the olive oil soap base is super moisturizing. It's pretty nice. I do have a couple of products I'll link down below. Actually, no, until my holiday collection launches, I just have one that was made with olive oil soap base, and that one is the grapefruit soap, if you just kind of want to see what I mean by it looking clear. So I will link that down below so you can check it out as an example. Now the blend that I use that I love using and will continue to use is a triple butter soap base. And the triple butters, or the 3 butters that are included in this soap base, shea, coconut, and mango. I absolutely love it. It's very easy to work with. It doesn't have a scent. It stays, I feel, and again, this could be my brain, but I feel like it stays melted for longer, so I can do more things with it. It has a nice lather to it. It settles really nicely in my molds. Honestly, I don't have any negative things to say about it. It's just a really, really nice base. Now we're going to get into the demo. So for this section of the video, I do have to take you into my kitchen. Let's go. All right, guys, so sorry, I forgot to turn the camera on as I was gathering my materials, but I will tell you exactly what's going on. So obviously, first things first, I cleaned my surface, which is my kitchen counter, and washed my hands, put on my gloves. Then this was a new container of my soap base. This is the triple butters that I rave about. So it's coconut oil, coconut butter, shea oil, and mango butter. And then it just comes in like a big brick like this. It is 2 pounds, and it has virtually no scent at all. Now I'm just going to cut the soap into into cubes. Sorry guys, I've got something stuck in my throat. And I just cut into cubes so it melts faster. So for all of my soap pouring, I do use a glass measuring cup. This one is from Target. What brand? I'm pretty sure it's just Target brand. Yeah, it's just the Made by Design brand. And of course, again, this is strictly for soap or candle wax making. This one here, I have 2 of them, and this was $5. The pourer is very, very nice. They're very thick and heavy, and you can heat them for long periods of time, which is why I prefer them for soap making. Oops. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put it on the stove. here we are a couple hours later. Let me see. It's probably been about like 5-ish hours. The lighting's still terrible, and I never took my hair out of the George Washington. So we're doing real big things. Where did we leave off? We left off where I poured the soap, and not all of them were full. So I actually, quick thinking on my daughter, actually on her part, we decided to melt a little bit more, but make it look like sand, since this was like a sand or like a sea mineral, sandy beach type of feel. So this is what they look like. I'm very interested to see what they look like when they come out. I don't know, I'm a little nervous. So here, let me just get a quick close up for you of the swirl. And again, the swirl was just kind of, here we go. Here is how it turned out. That looks so good. All right, I'm super happy with that, and it smells wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and film our outro and then end the video. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks so much for putting up with just all of the regular nonsense that happens in my everyday life. If you can relate, definitely hit the subscribe button. Before you leave, comment your shop down below, because again, like I said, we're growing this together. This is not a one-sided deal for me. I'd love to check out your shop, please, maybe even place an order. And I'll see you over on TikTok at LatherBethCo. Have a good one. Bye.